Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Sekiro. We're fighting a mini-boss already! This is Chained Ogre. When you fight this guy, this spear dude will come in and fight you too. It sucks. Kill that spear dude immediately. This was intentionally done, despite how it may appear. I've been trying to get him to grab at this point. I wanted to show when you are thrown by an enemy like that, if there is a grapple point, you can grapple it after being thrown. That's why, cleverly, there are branches around the cliff beneath Chained Ogre. Also wanted to show that just so you understand, when you die, you lose some of the skill you've accumulated. Like the value in the bar. You don't become less good at the game. Unless you're very angry and panicking, then you might. You also lose money. You lose half your money. Which sucks. I've before lost like 75,000 sen. Now, for skill points, if you've gotten the point itself, you won't lose skill points, you'll only lose bar buildup. This guy right here, he is a spear user, he'll often do thrust, so you can Mikiri counter. You also can just run straight at him and hit him and spam R1. So here is the main bulk of the Chained Ogre fight. He will do a lot of very slow attacks and then grapples. This is basically to teach you about grappling enemies. It's also to teach you about using the grappling hook enemies. After every grab, Chained Ogre can be grappled with the grappling hook. When you do this, it will stagger him just a little bit. Now, it allows you to get a free hit on him. There is a skill that gives you an attack in the air after you grapple towards an enemy. I will show off later what it does to this fight. When you want to avoid his attacks, for the grapples, jump backwards, jump away from him basically. A lot of his grapples target in front of him on the ground. They don't grab the air. This is true of quite a lot of the grapples in the game. There is a mini-boss that specifically targets the air with its grapples though. As a red-eyed creature, Chained Ogre is weak to fire. It scares him. If you see a creature with red eyes like this, that means they will get stunned for a second if you use fire. If you are right in front of Chained Ogre while attacking, he will generally do a grab. You can bait grabs this way. This allows you to bait out grabs so then you can grapple hook to him so that you can stun him for a second and get more free hits. That one was a little odd, though. And despite how big and strong he looks, you can deflect anything that isn't a grapple from him. Oh yeah, you may have noticed this was a no-hit fight. I just thought that would be fun. Because of his weakness, this makes going to Harada Estate very useful before killing Chained Ogre. Now, this was a recording I did afterwards. This is actually on New Game Plus 3 with a hard mode enabled. I was doing this and then realized, oh yeah, this could be useful for the LP because I show off a lot of ways to abuse the grapple hook with him. On this I have the air attack after the grapple. I also show off a few more of his attacks here and how to deflect them. He's pretty weak to deflection. He does have one kick that's delayed and swipes up. That can catch you off guard if you're trying to go for deflections. Also, in this, I'm wearing the Hattori clan outfit from a mod. The Hattori clan being associated with ninjas because of Demon Hanzo and then his son, and their relationship with the Iga clan and defending the Iga ninjas. Or, I don't remember if the Iga were technically a clan, or more an order or domain. But in either case, the person who made this mod likes the historical significance and reference. And yeah, as you can see, fire really messes this dude up. There are also discussions on if he is European or not. I don't know. He does have blondish looking hair, which usually means the character is European in Japanese media, but it's also pretty dirty. And the Japanese did see Europeans as like senseless, filthy, disgusting, stinky barbarians at this time. And that's another mini boss. Like 20 feet from the last one. Also, this is the Nightjar Monocular. You can use this as, it's the binoculars. So you may wonder what I'm doing here again on this file. This actually was recorded afterwards on the LP file. I just wanted to show there's a gourd seed there. I totally forgot to grab it on while recording. So this area can be a little bit tricky to stealth. The problem is two people. That sniper right there and this guy in the straw. This is an enemy type that does not really attack. I think they can technically pull out a knife and swing at you, but I don't even remember if that's right. Their main goal is when they spot you, they will start banging a pan and alert all enemies in the area. This is Divine Confetti, one of the most useful items in the game. It's a weapon buff. Its main use is against apparition type enemies, which this note about the headless ghost is warning you about over here. So let's go over there. Divine Confetti, I was just doing some testing with. I made a little video on it. I can put it in the LP thread. But it does give a flat out damage buff when you apply it to your weapon. I was testing it on the normal Ashigaru, it gave a buff. It also allows you to do chip damage because it's technically an energy type attack. So when enemies guard or block, it will deal some damage to them through their guard or block, or deflect. This is kind of creepy, a warning. The headless are a little freaky, maybe. They're not too bad if you play FromSoft games, but they're weird. They have their own music. They make creepy noises. So just a heads up for that. And you fight them in dark areas. A wolf actually can see in the dark. That was that little filter there. It doesn't give you like night vision, but it's one of his skills that he comes with in the game. You don't have to unlock it. There's actually a loading screen. So these are lizards. They generally spit poison. They like to hide in areas and ambush. They're almost not a threat at all, even if they ambush you. You usually just get like hit once and like, oh, it's a lizard. So crawling enemies like that, if you jump towards them, you get a free death blow. It's, what is it, Gecko death blow? There is a loading screen about it. This is also how you get to the secret little room above Chained Ogre. Let's go back and fight that headless. Time to use Divine Confetti. Divine Confetti gives a big boost on ghost type enemies. The main function would thus be fighting headless. There aren't too many enemies in the game that are actually ghost type, but you can use it on every enemy in the game since it gives a flat out damage buff. so it can be handy, but it's incredibly limited. You can get a merchant upgrade later that allows you to have it unlimited to buy. Until then, it's super limited. And this is the Headless. What that is right there is terror buildup. Terror is an anomaly in the game. I think that's what they call it, an anomaly. Or ailment. Basically, it is a curse. It is petrification. When that builds up all the way, you instantly die. You can revive afterwards, but you become so terrified your heart stops. Certain enemies do terror damage. The Headless does it. So, even if you block or deflect the Headless's attacks, it will still do that and it will ultimately kill you. That is the grab. You may have noticed, Headless basically has Tranquil Walk of Peace around it. This is a problem. You may have also noticed there is a way to counter this, and that is that it makes dodging and walking and running slow. It does not impact jumping whatsoever. We'll go back to deal with that guy later. He's kind of tough at this point. I could kill him. I could even kill him without the Divine Confetti, but it would be a pain. And I would probably get hit a few times and it would make me look bad. So there are a few ways to stealth this area. I totally didn't do it right this time. A decent way is actually to go along the left path. You can take out a few of the guys over there and then come back to the right path. In general, you just want to try and not get spotted by that sniper that kept seeing me. And then you want to sneak up and kill this pot and pan guy. If you can kill the pot and pan guy without that first sniper seeing you, you're pretty golden. You also can just go up here and wait. Eventually that guy will forget about you. Waiting does work in this. It is, in essence, a stealth game still. So you can just wait for enemy patterns, for patrols to move to different areas, for people to lose interest in you. Now, this is a bit dangerous fighting all these guys, and that's why there's so many here. Because the intention is you'll fight a bunch of these guys while sneaking around, probably. In doing so, you're going to make noise and actually draw the mini-boss up here, and then if you don't kill them fast enough, he will join in. He is kind of like the leader and the other general. The leader meaning the leader from the prologue, the mini-boss before Genichiro. What is it called? The Odachi? It's a large sword from Japan. Basically, it's a big katana. This is a mini-boss type, and then also a normal enemy type. They're pretty predictable. Sometimes I get a little bit screwed up when I fight them, because I just don't fight many of them, so I don't often remember or learn all of their patterns. There are a lot of times where I fight these guys, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot they even do that shit. Like right there, I was surprised for a second, because I just went, those guys can thrust? I didn't even know that. Though it is a bit funny because it is later on a normal enemy type, and there are multiple generals. So I really should be better at remembering. You have to be careful when they do that stance they were doing previously. When the general had his sword sort of behind him on his left side, that means at a moment's notice he is ready to rush and swing upwards in a big uppercut with the sword. It's pretty fast, so if you don't recognize that stance, it can catch you off guard and get in a good hit. Like the other guy, he will try to regain his posture. That sweep right there, you want to jump over and jump off his head. Him alone, though, is fairly easy, and you can get a stealth hit on him. He drops a prayer bead, of course. Now to go to Ashina Castle. Bridge is out. That's not good. How are we gonna get over there? Oh, hey, a lizard. I heard that noise. I see you, lizard. Oh, look, there's a path downwards. So the lizard is waiting to ambush you when you go for that item. You don't need to death blow those either. You can just kind of hit them. They have like 1 health. Suppress presence is something I don't know how big of a difference it makes. I feel like I notice it when I don't have it and I'm sneaking around doing fights, and when I do have it and I'm sneaking around. It basically improves your stealth ability. It makes it so enemies have a harder time spotting. Now, we're going to go back to the Harada estate here. Every now and then we're going to come back here, do something, come back here, do something. Right here, I'm peeking around a wall while wall hogging. You can death blow enemies while in that position if they come over near you. I'm trying to remember if I mentioned, but since the archers do fire arrows, if you guard or deflect them, it does do a little bit of damage. Normal bullets you can actually deflect fine. Fire arrows will do a little bit of damage. Here, I tend to kill the axe guy first because the other guy is much easier. Even though you have to run in front of the other guy to death blow the axe guy. Axe guy is just actually can hit you. These are shield enemies. You can't normally fight them without using the axe prosthetic. But you can break their guard still, and you can hit them still. If you deflect, you can also just stand in front of them and jump off their head like 30 times, and it will defeat them. So you can defeat this enemy without using the shinobi axe. It's just a pain. As you can see, the simplest way is to keep baiting out that shield push. But if you hit him with the axe, break the shield instantly and you can death blow them. Usually when an enemy has a shield like that, there are also shield hats basically. If you break the shield, you can typically just death blow them. Over here are some things under the water we can't see. Just looking around this area, swimming about. Something you might notice me do sometimes is I will go to empty areas to look at them. While there technically isn't anything at them to show off, or there isn't at the moment, it shows when areas will change. It'll also let you know, like, yeah, you don't have to go check this spot. There's nothing there. That way, it'll also help if people get curious, like, hey, you didn't walk down this corridor. Did you miss something in the LP? And the answer is, no, there was just literally nothing there. It was just a corridor that led to a room that was empty. I don't entirely mind when they do this in games. I don't mind if it's not like huge areas, if it's just like little pads you can check. Because, you know, it makes a bit of sense. Not every room everywhere is going to have stuff in it. So that right there was to show that you can backstab the shinobi hunter. You can sneak up on him. Those bushes over there and flowers are very helpful. Now, I actually like to fight him this way. I sneak over here, I backstab the axe guy. I then kill the normal lesser enemies. sometimes when you do this, he won't even aggro because he won't realize you've done anything. That was an attack there I really should have dealt with. So this is another boss that is to teach you a mechanic that's core to this. He is here to teach you about thrusts. If you can't Makiri counter, you will probably die to this guy and be unable to beat him. And you have to beat him to progress here. There is a fog gate behind him. For some reason, Sekiro has fog gates. It makes no sense, really. And there's actually one part of the game where fog gates would make sense, and it has none. Fog gates are very rare, though. There aren't many areas that you'll go to where something isn't like a closed gate and is just straight up a fog gate. With prayer beads, you can increase your maximum vitality and your maximum posture. You're sturdier. You can take more hits, survive more.